Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Rainer, and today we're doing midweek magic. A little bit late, because I've tried a few new things, but didn't quite pan out. So this time we're going to be doing this deck for Historic Pauper. Pretty much just keeping it simple and keeping it aware for the meta. So this one is mostly Amass, so it's really about generating all those Amass tokens and finding uses for them. So the premise is you really want to have you really want to be growing that token as you go. Now we have alternate uses for it. We have annihilating glare if we need to destroy a relatively big creature. We have a few copies of vicious offering. We have a few copies of wither and bloom to get a larger effect. Also, the +1/+1 counter can go on some of our alternate creatures. Though, to be fair, our alternate creatures really just the Lazotep Reaver and the Land Tribane. We have some control elements, Toll of the Invasion and Torment of Golem. I split it between these two, but Torment of Golem is fine. You can just run all four of these, mostly because I want to keep the cost of it on the lower side. Some Deadly Disputes for as another way to use the token for sacrifice. Then pretty much our land base is quite simple. These are our only duals. We're using the landscapes mostly to have an untapped source. We don't exactly have any double colors, so if we just have one of these, we can have this as an untapped source. Also a very good way to filter. As much as I want to use the new Capenna fetch lands, the land entering tapped really is a big toll, so the landscapes are much better. Also with the treasure token, we can randomly cycle. And there we go. There are ways to adjust this one. We're not solidly fixed on this, but we've gotten a few wins with it so far. It's actually been the most encouraging to go with. The rare is a bit misleading here. This is Pauper, so which version of the card has the rare? I'm actually taking a look at the cost. That's actually very misleading. These are all common for what I'm noticing. Anyway, that's So this one we can go Dismal Black Backwater one. We have some control early. I probably will keep this one first. And then playing green for the Elvish Mystic, so we could go Mortar Muster right now, but I probably want to just... We also have to assume they're going to have a large creature, so we'll use Wither and Bloom for now. If I draw an Annihilating Glare, I would just use the Vicious Offering right away. Bonus is Stalwart. Now our opponent can exert it when you do, can't be blocked by creatures of power 2 or less. We can kind of wait on it. If our opponent wants to exert it, it's on them. Oh, they're just doing the exert thing. So we can mute this one first. Grab a swamp. So I definitely want to play the Mortar Muster next turn, so... I also have to be very careful with the mana here. And... perhaps I might as well? Because the exert is a trigger, so we'll see what our opponent does. If our opponent triggers, we can... Oh, they're not... they might have a fight effect, so this one would be a bit questionable. Yeah, we're gonna go indestructible. They probably have a pump effect to. They probably have a pump effect, which no, they're just letting it go. They probably have a. Ooh, here comes the 4/4. So. So we haven't cast a spell. I definitely do not want this to flip into a 6/4. But this attack would be so suspicious. I have no choice but to let it flip. Moving the counter means I can still at least block with it, which is fine. And it just runs out the jewel key, sure. Makes a token. So we're gonna run this out first before we block, see if my opponent has any response to this. They might have a pump effect. Still puts it at the 3/1, which is... Oh, they do have a fight effect. Ram 2, okay. Yeah, I guess we... So I could use this to pump one of these, or I could just chump for the time being, use the Deadly Dispute to refill our hand. I haven't actually encountered mono green in quite a while. Perhaps it was a mistake taking out the Mystic. We should have just gone for the other creatures instead. There's also the argument for instead of sacking the token, we just sack the Reaver because this one can grow, this one cannot. Another Deadly Dispute. We'll probably hold on to it for now. Opponent gets a Thriving Rhino. They're just going big. Which does mean we are in quite a bit of trouble here. Yeah. Here's our cycle, so draw into another Reaver, which is fine. Might as well play the land. Now the question is, do I make this into a 3/3 just so I could start tangling with some of these? Opponent is going to be able to pay this off and make this a 6/6, which is a problem. This one becomes a 3/4. No, I'm not looking good either way. And opponent's probably just gonna pay this one. They're not incentivized to flip, but yeah, we pretty much got stalled out here. So what I can do is, yeah, I'm still gonna block with this one. Yeah, we are taking 10 here, but it could be worse. We could have been taking 16. Opponent might as well pay for it anyway. You're just giving up a treasure token. Now, it'd be slightly awkward if we can... Well, we could just use the treasure token anyway. So... Unfortunately, a bit late. Our opponent just really had all the creatures. Thankfully, we're not taking that excess damage here. So might as well keep going through the rest of this. But this one is kind of over for us already. This one's... Well, at least we get rid of that one. And But yeah, we're just dying to the rest of this. So yeah, our opponent managed to unload and all that. This would have been those would have been fine draws in the mid game, but we ended up having to play quite defensive there. Also, our opponent having the 4 mana 4/4 as a common, it's the reason why we still have the annihilating glares, we still have the callous dismissals. Being able to reset in that regard is still fine. But yeah, we probably were much better off holding on to that vicious until the very end. So this one is fine. We will play the Dismal Backwater first. I'm gonna just play the contaminated landscape and we can pass. We'll just probably sack this one. Kind of waiting for our opponent to untap. So next turn, we have two choices. I can try to be tricky and save the Annihilating Glare, which is probably what I'll do. But our opponent could have a bounce effect, in which case, but that would still be fine. We'll see what our opponent does next. Stealth mission. Can't be blocked. Okay. So we can reduce the amount of damage we take. But I probably will just keep it like this right now. We'll just take the 5. They draw a card, sure. No, okay. Good land drop hit. We'll attack first. Hopefully our opponent doesn't bounce this token. Essence Flux, the exile's fine. They get to return it, but it's still just a plain 2/2. We'll probably muster again. But yeah, it looks like our opponent is just basically stacking spells onto a single creature. We're gonna need a window where we're able to snipe it. Oh, just going unblockable. And there we go, we managed to get that one. And yeah, probably not gonna waste time here. I'm just gonna wipe this one before they drop another trick. Opponent actually playing Bant colors, so they probably have something else. Academy Drake, not kick. I'm gonna swing with this one, see if our opponent chump blocks this. No, they're not gonna block, which is fine. I could try to see what they have. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try to see what they have. I should have done this first. So Gear Seeker, Serpent, Thunder Squadron, Shimmer Scale. So they will be able to drop this. It'll take a while for them to drop this. They're missing the artifacts. They can drop this also. Both of these are practically the same. This one's a bit of a bigger headache, but I'm gonna drop this one. Because if they don't hit the land, I'm gonna force them to at least tap this to cast it. 2. So next turn we could probably just chump block and deadly dispute the Dunland Trevane. Opponent trying to go tall. They actually had a very decent strat here. Into another Vortex Runner. Okay, good. But it is a serviceable blocker. Callous Dismissal is gonna help us here. In fact, I'm trying to think if we can get a kill. I think we can. First, we Torment the Column. We can pitch that. Callous Dismissal. Discard that. And yeah, writings on the wall. We will also just give this lifelink as well. Opponent's gonna concede. But yeah, there we go. We managed to. You just need to have the right amount of control elements, and that is probably the issue with. That's probably the issue with Bloom Burrows in addition to the set, to Historic at least, especially when you take a look at Pauper. Most of their Pauper cards don't actually contribute that much. I guess the ones that do quite contribute would be the life gain, life loss strats, yeah, pretty much the life gain, life loss, the lizards dealing quite a bit of damage. That's about it. We'll try to do about 1-2 more games here. We'll see how it lines up. So this one, the landscape gets black for sure. We have Wither and Bloom turn 2 if we must. We have Wither and Bloom turn 2 and turn 3 if we must. Also have Lazotep Reaver if we try a few options. Opponent going Toxic, so we're definitely gonna have to defend against that. We can probably drop the first one just fine. Basically, the plan is to slow them down quite a bit. Next turn, we could probably just drop Reaver as a blocker since we've stuck. Because the first strike does make it really hard for us. So it's flying. But that's where drawing all the Wither and Blooms come in. If we can hit another mana, we would definitely want to Torment the Column. Opponent missing out on it, so yeah, we Torment the Golem anyway. They might have something to take out the Orc token, so be it. So Vraska's Fall, Vraska's Fall. This one actually messes up combat a bit, and it also draws them a card. I guess you know what? Let's force them to use them Vraska's Falls. So they're gonna have another Vraska's Fall on the ready, so we'll just play the. Oh wait. You can also just Toll of the Invasion, nuke that other card out. So they probably would just use Whisper of the Draws to nuke this one while it's still small. That's what they're gonna do. They'll get us Proliferate. Now we have quite the hand compared to what they have. We do have to be a bit careful with how because we know our opponent has another removal spell. Recommission, getting this guy back. A second. Hello? Go chong oatmeal lang. Go chong oatmeal lang. Ready. Hiya upa. Oh, kung din mo back what's it lo. Okay. Opponent now down to their last card. I like the recommission tech. It's which is also why I really opponent going for this one because they're probably gonna they're trying to draw into another piece of removal. We're gonna start drawing cards, see if we can say hit our fourth Wither in Bloom. Opponent plays Light Belly Rat, it's fine. I kind of want to draw another card, or like, okay, that's fine. And yeah, let's just draw our cards now. So there's an argument for using these so that if I need to restart the tokens, I should. Yeah, there's an argument for restarting the tokens. So like holding one of them back. So we could still be done for if we're not careful. Opponent just goes complete devotion to draw a card. That was what I predicted would happen. Kinda going. Okay, let's not go too all in here. Let's hold one back. We're not gonna get our opponent anyway. And being able to restart two of these here would be nice. Holding up the Deadly Dispute in case our opponent finally draws their other removal, and they do have a lot. Fourth poison counter is not relevant, and if we did only the 10th one is relevant, so the other four are not so much relevant. Opponent hits their land drop. Do they have anything that concerns me? So we swing with this one. Now they might have an exile effect. Yep, they do have an exile effect, so I figured that was the case. We just sacrifice that, draw our cards. And we can I'm thinking of bouncing, but I'm thinking that can wait. Also, opponent slightly. Okay, they did have a duelist at deep fate, but we do have an out for it. I'm gonna tempt our opponent into blocking this. If they block with just one, it's fine. If they block with both, then we give this indestructible. Then, yeah, then we hold it like that. Still holding on to treads. One that has a pestilence siphoner, but that's. Wanted to swing, try to get aggro, but if they do, it's over. So they held. If we do get them down to 4. I guess we'll sacrifice this now. what I could do is I can bounce this. Force our opponent to chump block. And the nice thing is that, though we could actually have just cast this, we don't forget that we actually do have the price for this. See if our opponent hits. No, opponent concedes right there. We got them. So that was a pretty good victory for us. Let's try one more game. Okay. Okay. I'm really liking this iteration a lot better. I'm actually wondering if I've built this deck before. I need to start keeping track of all the shenanigans I've done with this. But definitely having the landscapes is a very big deal as a fetch land option. Having a fetch land that can still tap for mana, so you're not stuck with a tap land. Very big deal. So this one we can get our blue right away. And we will do this. Then we will decide. Then we will check our options later. And send an envoy. So we. Yeah, get rid of that right away. The next turn, depending what our opponent does, I might actually regret this, because at least next turn we could Toll of the Invasion, pick off our opponent's next best card. Since we know our opponent is an Auras, and well, since we know our opponent's not doing anything, we're just gonna Toll. So it's the all-in on one creature deck. They hit their envoy. They're gonna go Sentinel's Eyes. They would have gotten more from this. They probably, and there they conceded. Yeah, they made a mistake. Oh wait, yeah, no, they could have gotten more from it just by using the Ethereal Armor right away. Yeah, I would have regretted it if in that case. But there we at least demonstrated why it's important to be able to have a way to pick off your opponent's cards. We are really a control deck at this rate. Let's do one more game. So, very plain. If we can hit one more land, we will be able to Toll into Torment, pick off our opponent's hand. Have some early removal options. In fact, as a mostly spells deck, another thing we can do is, if you're not all in, you can replace some of the creature ones, although they are 2/4 ones, so I'd still rather have them. So we'll play Lazatep Reaver first. Opponent will need 2 cards to pick this apart. Most likely we'll just. So let's see what they go. Hungry Ridge Wolf. Pick it apart later. I might have some regrets here because werewolves are generally on the bigger side. Though that is the encouragement for me to start having a large token. But definitely having Fearful Villager. If our opponent swings, I will take. missing that land is an issue here. I guess I can just trigger and boom this one, but yeah, missing the land is a tough one. But yeah, we're not gonna block otherwise. Now this is the part where we see if I regret it or not. No, it's just a weary prisoner. Still annoying enough that I might regret it. No, not if we bounce it. If our opponent just replays that, then what? Then I'm pretty much hoping for... Oh no, Pestilent Wolf. Death Touch? Do they have the mana for it? I'm gonna see what our opponent does here, because we at least have answers to this. Like this, for example. Yeah, we're gonna hold. And opponent concedes. So there we go. Now, possible changes I would note, probably having more instant speed removal just as a counter to the to all the mono red decks there. But otherwise, we did pretty well here, and that we're gonna call it. That's gonna be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. For the life of me, I have no idea why we are being listed. Why we have 3 rares? I'm gonna take a look here. Deadly Dispute. There's a version of Deadly Dispute that's rare. Okay, so that's super misleading. But yeah, there you go. There's no reason for this Deadly Dispute to be $3. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.